You know, when I tell people that I teach sewing, what they say to me is, oh, I have a sewing machine, or I've always wanted to learn to sew, but I never have, it's too complicated, or I just don't know how to get started. I tell them, you know, bring your sewing machine to me, or sign up for one of my classes. Just with some basic skills, some straight stitches, a little pivoting, you know, you could be sewing on your way to making your own decor for your, you know, pillows for your house, or little tote bags, pillowcases. It's really not that hard, and once you get started, it's a lot of fun. So to take any bag and make it something phenomenal, you can line it. And here's what I do. It's very simple, is I just take a really pretty fabric, I lay it out, I put my bag down on top of it, and I draw a little pattern around it. I need a 1/2 inch on the bottom, I need a 1/2 inch on each side, and I need about 1.5 inches on top so that I can get this nice little top on the top here. So I'm just going to look at my ruler here. I'm going to mark it here, and I'll mark a 1/4 inch here, and I'm going to mark about 1.5 inches at the top, right here, and I'm going to cut around the bag. So very quickly, just cut a straight line. Now I have this fabric folded in two so that I have a lining for both sides of the bag. I should have mentioned that. I'm just going to cut across. Over here. I'm going to cut up this side, 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch. Doesn't hurt to have a little extra fabric. There we go. So I'm going to take that off, and isn't that going to be pretty on the inside? So all I'm going to do is, if you've ever sewn, you know, you just put the right sides together. Make sure they're facing the right way. And I'm going to sew down this side, across here. I'm going to leave this open. I'm going to sew here and here. So let's go over to the sewing machine and do that. So we're just going to sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way down this end. Take your pins out, you know, because if you don't, then they could pop up and hit you in the glasses. You don't want that, or break your needle. So we're just going to sew down here to the end, about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Put your needle in, and you're going to pivot. And remember, we don't want to sew in this area right here. So we're just going to sew this little bit here along the bottom. Sew right up to this needle. Give it a couple back stitches. Now remember, this is where we turn our bag. That's why we're not sewing there. Again, let's just do a 1/2 inch all the way to the end. Put a 1/4 inch. Put your needle down so you can pivot. And a 1/2 inch up the side. And then we're almost finished. I'm telling you, this is so easy and so cute. You'll want to make a dozen of these and give them to all your friends. Oh, let's put this together there. Came apart. I'm just going to go all the way up to the top, give it a back stitch, and voila, we're finished. Okay, let's go take this over to our bag. So we've sewn our bag, and it's inside out, and remember we left this little handy hole at the bottom. And now we're going to do something that seems a little counterintuitive, but we're going to put the bag, the outside of the bag, inside. And believe me, this works. I've done it a million times. And we're going to bring it up to the top, and then we're going to tuck the handles in. Tuck the handles in between the bag and the lining. I know that seems like, why are we doing that? And then you're going to take the raw edge of your liner, the lining here, and you're going to pin it to the top of your bag. And then we're going to sew it. So let's go over to the sewing machine. Okay, so we're just going to take this and put it underneath the arm of our sewing machine. Now this is kind of thick because it is canvas and we're sewing some cotton, but we're just going to do a simple 1/2 inch stitch all the way around. And then we're going to have a nice little lining. Now going over these humps, you might want to go a little slow. The machine might not like it. So I always just, you know, there's a little adjusting, but here I come to one of these straps, so I just go a little slower Take that pen out, goes right across, pull the pen out, adjust. You have to do a little adjusting while you're in here. That's okay. Makes for a better project. I've got a little extra here. I'm just going to kind of tuck it into the side. You know, it's just a tote bag, so I'm not too worried about fashion police getting me. There we go. We're finished. Okay, let's go take this over to the cutting table, and I'll show you the magic. So this is where the magic happens, and you thought it was a little weird to be putting that on top of the bag. But now what we're going to do is we're just going to pull the outside of the bag through the bottom. Remember, we left that little spot. And we're just going to pull it through, turn it right side out. And now you can see we've got this really pretty lining. And so we don't want it to go to waste all inside the bag so nobody sees it. And I just push those corners out with my fingers, or you can take a little chopstick or a pencil, you know, and just kind of nice. And we've got that hole at the bottom, and we'll fix that when we go to the sewing machine. We're just going to sew that closed. Now you're just going to push it right inside your bag. Poke it down into those corners. And remember how we made it a little longer on top? We made it 1.5 inches taller. So that's what we came up with, is that we wind up with this nice little edge on the top, just like this bag. So you see the little globes, the world map, I should say, not little globes. And all we're going to do is stitch around the top. And you can either stitch your straps to this little bit of the lining, or you can, or not. You can just give it a little finishing edge stitch, and then we can put a bow on it, or like I did with this one, you could put a little applique like we did on this one, or maybe some embroidery. But then you've got your own designer bag that you made for yourself. So isn't this cute? If you'd like to make a bag like this, please contact me at creativethread.com or give me a call at 314-550-8872, and let's make some bags together.